Alright, this is Mrs. Lawson. This is your final video for the year of Chapter 5, Quiz 3. Here we go. Alright, so the first set of problems is asking us to find the inverse. So I'm going to switch these to x and y, but the first step of inverses is switching x and y. So where this is normally y, it's going to become x, and that will become the y. And now my job is to get this y by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is move the 3. I'm going to move it through subtraction, which brings this to this, and then this side is now x minus 3. The next thing to get y by alone is to get rid of that cube. So to do that, I will just cube root this side, and then I'll cube root that side. So at this point, on the left side I have the cube root of x minus 3, and on the right side I have y minus 1. And now my last step to get y by itself is to move the 1, and I will do that by adding 1. And it will be outside of the cube root, the check mark. So there is my final answer for number 1. Number 2, again, my first step is I will be switching x and y around, and I want to get y by itself. The problem I'm going to face here is that y is in a denominator, so what I'm going to do is quickly just get it out of the denominator, and I'll do that by multiplying this side by y plus 1, and then these will cancel out, and then I'll multiply this side by y plus 1. So where I am right now then is, if I have the wall, then on this side I have x with y plus 1, and on this side I just have 2. So now to get y by itself, I won't distribute these. I don't want anything to get comfortable. I want everything gone. So since x is multiplying to these parentheses, I'll divide by y plus 1, or divide by x, which gives me y plus 1 here, and I'll divide this side by x. And now to get y by itself, I simply subtract 1. And that subtracting 1 is not in the fraction. All right, number 3. So again, quickly switch x and y around. And now to get y by itself, I'll move my addition subtraction, so I'm going to add 10 to the other side. And now to get y alone, I'm going to divide by 2. So on this side, I'm just going to write it as dividing by 2. And now I just have the square root left. And to get rid of the square root, I will square this side, and I will just square this side. So on the left side of the wall, I now have this, and I'll just leave it like this. If you're not sure of how far you should go when you actually take the quiz, just come over and ask. And then I have y plus 4, and whoops, x plus 4, sorry. This I never switched. This should be an x here. X, x, x. All right, and now to get this y by alone, I'll subtract the 4. So all of this is now subtracting 4, and I get to just y. All right, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You are to state if the following are inverses. So to do that, we will be using composite functions, and I will putting g into f. I'll be taking f and putting it into g. And when I'm done, I should get x. If I get x for both of them, they are inverses of each other, and then you can answer the question. The question is yes. If I don't get x, then the answer is no. So I'm going to start with number 5, and I'm just going to start with g going in to f. So I'm going to switch and have different colors. So right now all of this is going right there. So I'm going to start writing f of n in blue. And now n I'm going to replace with all of this, and I will, these are the parentheses that are there. I'm going to put another set of parentheses because all of this we talked about just, goes in parentheses. So that's where n was. Okay. And then I still have the minus 1. And then I have the cubed from the original problem. So there's negative 1 plus n was replaced minus 1 cubed. And so what we're going to do is when we simplify, when we clean things up, we really are just following the order of operations. So first thing of order of operations are parentheses. So I've got two sets of parentheses. I've got these blue ones on the outside, and I've got these orange ones on the inside. So those are the ones I should start with. So in parentheses, is there anything I can do? No, not right now. So then I'm going to move to the outside of the parentheses, because those are still parentheses. And as it turns out, I actually didn't need these parentheses here. They're not doing anything. There's nothing distributing here into the parentheses, and there's not an exponent on the outside. So when I look at these parentheses, I can actually cancel out these ones, and that's what we're looking for. We're just looking for things to cancel out. So now what I have is -1 plus parentheses, and now I have the cubed root of n plus 1 parentheses, and then I still have the cubed on the outside. So after parentheses, I still have these parentheses, so I can't do anything there. But after parentheses, I have exponents. And as it turns out, this 3 cancels out this 3. So now I'm left with the -1 here, plus n plus 1. And now these 1s will cancel out, and I'm just left with n. So on